Emma found an abandoned sedan during her morning jog, hidden in the deep, dense forest where she had been running for 3 years. Inside the car, she found the belongings of Marcus Chen, a teenager who had been missing for 6 months. She also saw new footprints that led her deeper into the forest. When everything was revealed, a shocking truth was discovered. Emma had been jogging along the same forest trail every morning for 3 years. She remembered the familiar winding paths and fallen logs along the way. This routine gave her a sense of calm and energy to start the day. The autumn air that morning was crisp. Emma breathed evenly as her feet stepped onto the compacted dirt path. Everything seemed normal, but something was different today. About 50 yards from the main path, Emma noticed a strange shape hidden behind the overgrown vines and fallen branches. Curiosity piqued her interest. Emma walked off the path and stepped through the dense forest. The deeper she walked, the more certain she was. It was definitely a car. There was an old sedan parked there, like a forgotten antique. The car's blue was faded and rusty. There was dirt and fallen leaves covering every surface. Vines were creeping up the sides, and moss adorned the roof. Emma slowly circled the car. The tire was flat and buried under the leaves. Spider webs stretched along the glass. The windshield was cracked and cloudy. It seemed like the car had been parked here for months, maybe years. Why hadn't she seen it before? Emma often followed this path. She must have noticed this car near her usual route. The driver's door creaked open. The sound echoed throughout the quiet forest. Looking inside, Emma's eyes widened in surprise. Clothes were neatly folded in the back seat. Toiletries were arranged on the dashboard. Snacks and a bottle of water were on the floor. A small backpack was placed on the passenger seat. This was not an abandoned car. It was inhabited. Emma's heart began to beat faster. The things looked new and neat. Someone had turned this hidden car into a temporary home. But who would choose to live here in the midst of emptiness? She leaned further into the car, examining the contents carefully. Clothes and snacks were common items, but the wallet caught her attention, which was hidden between the driver's seat and the center console. Emma hesitated before picking it up. She found the answer in the old wallet. The driver's license belonged to Marcus Chen. The photo was of a teenager with dark hair and serious eyes. The driver's license listed Marcus as 17 years old. Emma's blood ran cold as she recognized the face. She had seen it on a missing person flyer posted throughout the community 6 months ago. Marcus Chen had been reported as a runaway by his family. The case had been the subject of local news coverage for weeks before slowly fading from public view. This was Marcus Chen's wallet, lying in the abandoned car in the deep woods where Emma jogged every morning. But there was something wrong with this discovery. Emma checked the interior of the car again with a shocked look. The clothes didn't smell musty like they should after being left for months. The food hadn't expired. There were sandwiches left on the dashboard and the bread wasn't moldy. The water bottle only had a little bit of water left. This wasn't the abandoned scene 6 months ago. Someone had been here not long ago. Emma's hands trembled as she searched further. She found Marcus's school ID and a family photo showing Marcus with his parents and younger sister. Why would a teenager with a loving family choose to be alone in a car hidden in the woods? The questions multiplied as Emma searched her backpack. She found what looked like a notebook. The pages were filled with Marcus's handwriting. The notes were dated, and Emma's heart nearly stopped when she saw the latest entry. The note was written 2 days ago. The note described how safe Marcus felt in his hideout in the woods, but he was also very worried about the approaching winter weather. The note was written by someone who was still alive and active in this place. Emma realized that she might not be alone in the woods. Her eyes grew more alarmed as she looked at the notes in the notebook. Marcus had recorded his daily life in incredible detail, but there was one part that gave Emma goosebumps. Marcus watched the trails and made notes of the people who used them. Page by page, he meticulously observed the hikers and runners who regularly used the trails in the woods. He recorded their schedules, their daily routines, and even their personal behaviors. Emma's name appeared several times throughout these observations. Marcus knew she ran the same route every morning at about the same time. He recorded her usual running clothes, her running speed, and even her tendency to stop and stretch at certain landmarks along the way. He had been watching her for months without her knowing. But why? What was the missing teenager doing in the woods, spying on the people who use these trails? Emma slowly backed away from the car. Suddenly, she became more aware of her surroundings. The quiet forest she had been jogging through for years seemed eerie. She had to get out and contact the authorities immediately. But as Emma turned, something on the ground caught her attention. New footprints were pressed into the soft soil around the car. They were smaller than an adult's, consistent with the size of a teenager's feet. There were no footprints when Emma first approached the car. She was certain someone was here as she searched the car. Someone was watching her as she found evidence. Emma's breath became short and rapid. Marcus didn't live anywhere in this forest. He was here now. Maybe he was watching her from behind the trees. He knew he had found his secret hiding place. The footprints headed deeper into the dense forest. If Marcus wanted to avoid being seen, he could easily disappear into an area where searchers would never think to look. But he knew the forest better than anyone. He knew Emma's routine, her schedule. Emma quickly started walking back to the main trail, trying not to panic but still not being able to shake the feeling that there were eyes watching her every move. Behind her, branches cracked and leaves swayed in a way that was not like the wind or small animals. Someone was following her. Emma ran as fast as she could into the parking lot and headed for her car. She reached for her car and grabbed her car keys. Her hands were shaking with excitement and fear. When she got in and locked the doors, Emma immediately called the police. The officers arrived within an hour and found the abandoned car exactly as Emma had described, including Marcus Chen's belongings, but they found no trace of Marcus. The new footprints Emma saw confirmed this. As they searched the car thoroughly, the police found something Emma had missed. Under the driver's seat was a small folded note written in Marcus's handwriting. The note stated, he finally found peace living in the woods. He wrote that he was happier than he had ever been in his old life, and he asked that no one contact him or try to find him and bring him back. He assured the family that he was safe and could take care of himself, but he had to be alone to heal the suffering they did not understand. After that, there was an extensive search, but Marcus Chen was still missing. The woods seemed to swallow him up as they wished. The police informed Marcus's family. Although everyone was devastated and wondered what had happened to him, they respected his decision and believed that he was still safe and happy on the path he had chosen. Emma never went jogging on that forest path again. This discovery changed her relationship with the forest forever. Sometimes she wondered if Marcus was still there. What would you do if you discovered someone's secret hiding place in the woods?